Good morning all. I am going to start new chapter, that is chapter 16, Management of Natural Resources. These are the topics and subtopics of this chapter, that is introductory part. First is, second, use of natural resources. Next, application to save environment. Next, need to manage our resources. Next, forest and wildlife. Next, water. And last is fossil fuel. In this session, we are going to discuss about the introductory part of this, natural resources, uses of natural resources. Then next is application to save environment, and the last is need to manage our resources. Next is introduction. Natural resources management, it refers to the management of natural resources such as land, water, soil, plants and animals. Man depends on the nature for his requirement. For thousands of years, the earth has been fulfilling our basic requirements like air, water, light, habitat, food and clothes. Our increasing demand of energy as a result of our cultural evolution, development of agriculture and technological advances, that is also fulfilled by the earth. The naturally occurring resources which cannot be created by man are termed our natural wealth. What are those components? Those components of the atmosphere, hydrosphere and lithosphere which can be used for the maintenance of life are called natural resources. Example, that is water, land, forest, minerals, plants and animals. In this chapter, we are going to discuss some of the natural resources like forest, wildlife, coal and petroleum, and how these resources are to be managed for sustainable development. Now next is uses of natural resources, or how we should make use of natural resources. Natural resources are used to make food, fuel and raw materials for the production of goods. All of the food that people eat comes from plants or animals. Natural resources such as coal, natural gas and oil provide heat, light and power. Resources, we all know it's a renewable resources and non-renewable resources. In this, renewable resources, that is infinite, non-renewable resources, that is finite. Infinite, which is not unlimited, that is sunshine, wind, needs management, that is forest, soil, fish, agriculture. Non-renewable, which is finite, fossil fuels, that is oil, gas, coal. Minerals, that is iron ore, bauxite, diamonds, gold, uranium. Next is how we should make use of natural resources. On this earth, man is the most developed organism. He is able to speak fluently, can write legibly, and has curiosity to know new things. For making life luxurious and comfortable, man started adopting industrialization and started building roads, dams, houses, satellites, cars, motors, rockets, missiles, submarine, etc. To achieve his goal, man has destroyed nature to a great extent. So much so that even the natural product, environment, etc. are also getting destroyed. Man has cut forest and ground plants for agriculture, shelter and factories, and developed villages and cities. In natural surroundings, he has built his own social and cultural environment using various instruments, skills and intelligence. All these activities have caused an imbalance in the environment. It will be a huge error if man continues to believe that all his essential natural resources are unlimited and he can exploit them in any way or in any amount as per his wishes. An indiscriminate and rampant use or great use of natural resources are creating serious danger for existence of human and their culture. The amount of water, trees, minerals and other natural resources on the earth is limited, while the number of people using these resources is growing rapidly. But the number of people is not the real problem. The problem is how these natural resources are used. Whenever one person or group of people uses more than their fair share of resources or causes an excess of pollution, this imbalance can lead to environmental health problems for others. Hence, there is a need to use natural resources rationally and judiciously. Now next is application to save environment. The 3 R's, that is reduce, reuse and recycle. This is one of the important topic. All help to cut down on the amount of waste what we throw away. They conserve natural resources, landfill space and energy. Plus, the 3 R's save land and money communities must use to dispose of waste in landfills. The first we are going to discuss about the reduce. First is reduce. The concept of reducing what is produced and what is consumed. That is essential to the waste. The logic behind it is simple to understand. If there is less waste, then there is less to recycle or reuse. The process of reducing, it begins with an examination of what you are using and what it is used for. This indicates minimization of use of natural resources. One can save electricity by switching off unnecessary lights and fans. Water can be saved by avoiding misuse and wastage of water, by repairing the leaking taps, or even by developing a proper distribution system of available water. We can also reduce the use of LPG by making use of solar cooker for cooking food. If the mineral resources are used sensibly and repeatedly, mining and dredging for their search, that can also be reduced. These are the examples of the 3 R's in which one is reduce. Now second is reuse. You may have a box of things you keep that are broken or that you don't have a use for that. You hang on to in case you find another use for them. Or you may find bargains and old furniture or go trash picking and get things that you can refinish. In either case, you are working towards reusing the items. Learning to reuse items or repurpose them for a use different than what they are intended for is essential in waste hierarchy. The last 3 R's, that is recycle. To recycle something, it means that it will be transformed again into a raw material that can be shaped into a new item. There are very few materials on the earth that cannot be recycled. plastic, papers, glass, metals and scraps. It produced by the industries that can be melted at appropriate temperature and new materials that can be produced. This process is known as recycling. In order to recycle, we first need to segregate our waste so that the material that can be recycled is not dumped along with other waste. Now next is need to manage our resources. The resources of the earth are limited. As the human population is increasing rapidly, the demand for resources it increases day by day. Thus, proper management of these resources that can ensure that they last for the generations to come. All the things like food, clothes, furniture, fuels, vehicles, water, etc., which we use are obtained from the resources on this earth. As the resources on the earth are limited, while the human population is increasing at a tremendous rate, the demand of resources is also increasing day by day. The proper management can ensure equitable distribution or equal distribution of natural resources so that all the people can benefit from the development of these resources. The proper management will take into consideration the damage caused to the environment during extraction or use of the natural resources and find ways and means to minimize this damage. For example, if some trees have to be cut for some reason, then the damage to the environment can be minimized by planting new saplings in place of cut out trees. It means that we have to manage our resources, or we need to manage our resources, that our next coming or the future generation can also use all such resources. It's the end of today's session. Thanks.